Alright, what is going on, everybody on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back to you all with another video, or if you're catching this live, another live stream. Hopefully you guys have had a great start to the week so far. Hopefully you're staying cool out there. If you're new to me and just wondering who the heck am I, my name is Griffin, of course. I'm the owner of the company Preferred Pest Management here in the Dallas, Texas area. We've been in business for about 3 years now. And on this channel, I just document my entire, entrepreneurial journey, business owner, investing, all that type of stuff. I by no means think I know it all or anything like that. Like I said, it's just me simply documenting my journey through this entrepreneur journey at the end of the day. We have over 600 videos now on the channel. We try to post some form of content pretty much every single day for you guys. So if any of that interests you, definitely, subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers before the end of the month. I didn't know if that was going to be possible early on. I set the goal for 2,000 subs before the end of August. It's currently August 15th. We're at 1,930 last I checked earlier today. And I set that goal originally back in July when we weren't even at 1,800 yet. So it was a lofty goal, in my opinion, for a smaller channel like this. But you all have been delivering. I appreciate you guys. And of course, if you're new to me and new to the live streams as well, if you do happen to catch us live, we do have the overall topic that we're talking about, which for today, we're going to be breaking down one of you, the viewer's website for your pest control business. I believe your name is even Rat King, like on YouTube, whenever you're commenting on videos and streams and whatnot. He wanted me to kind of take a look at his website. We were doing this in a previous stream, but I wanted to make sure he was okay with me, just kind of being real about everything, not necessarily over criticizing or anything, just adding the value where I see that he could definitely add some more value to this website and hopefully, of course, turn it into a lead generating machine because, for the longest, for about the first year and a half even of me being in business, I had a website that would maybe generate us, anywhere between 1 to 5 leads per month. You're talking less than a lead per week on average in terms of form submissions, people calling from the website, all that type of things that you want for a pest control business website specifically. And then finally, over the last, I would say, year and a half now, the second half of me being in business the last 3 years, I have focused heavy on our website performance, totally revamped everything over the last 6 months specifically. And we're already, starting to reap the benefit of doing that. So, Rat King, this video is for you specifically. Hopefully you do happen to catch this video next time. If you haven't, then I'll make sure that you do watch this video. And before we actually get into it, I just want to make sure really quickly that our stream is up. It says we got excellent connection. We're up and doing all right. The tool we're going to be using as well today is SEO Quake. It's a completely free tool that you can use for your pest control business website or any website, of course. And it's a totally free tool that you would just download in the Google Chrome extension. They have like an extension store for Chrome extensions, and it's totally free to use. I'm sure that I don't even know if they have a paid version, as a matter of fact. I'm sure they do, but we're going to be using that for part of today's video. We've done a video on them in the past, so I'm not going to dive into tutorial or anything in terms of how to use SEO Quake, but it is an awesome free tool that you can use, and I definitely suggest you guys use for just, anytime you're doing SEO efforts on your website, making changes, wanting to follow your internal links, external links, all that type of stuff. You can even print, some of this stuff out as well. So it's a pretty good, like I said, tool overall. And just to go ahead and get right into it, I know we'll start having some of you all tuning in here shortly, but we'll just go ahead and get right into it. Like I said, the website we're going to be looking at today is Rat King Pest Control, specifically Rat King Pest Control LLC. Shout out to him. He's a pretty avid viewer of the stream, and we're just going to kind of break down his website overall. I believe this is a Wix website, if I recall. Yes, a Wix website, and he even mentioned that as well. He is located roughly, just want to see what town he's in here. So he's in Von Ormy, Texas, is where the business is located. I just want to zoom out. Did not want to zoom out that far. Let's see. So first and foremost, oh, this is a Google map. That's interesting. One thing that I would do right from the get-go is I would actually turn this into more of a service area. So he's in like the South Texas area, just outside of San Antonio. It looks like just to maybe the southwest. A few hours from me here in the Dallas, Texas area. One thing I would do, I'll pull up kind of how this looks for us at the bottom of one of our pages, because I can't tell if this is in the footer of his website or, let's go back here. I can't tell if this is in the footer. I believe this is the footer of his website right here where this contact us page begins. He can let me know if that's wrong. Maybe the footer actually starts, somewhere in between right here where we have this giant blank space. It's hard to say for sure. Or maybe, there's no footer really at all outside of course, the copyright and all that type of stuff. What I was going to say is one thing I would do is I would kind of shorten this up into just a footer. And I believe, yeah, it looks like it has something going on where it is in a footer format, just not in the best way. It may be more of a mobile optimized website as well. Sometimes I run into, especially with Wix, a lot of their websites will be, a mobile version and then a laptop version. That may be the case here. This may be the footer, and it's made more for like an Android, iPhone, etc., like a mobile website. So that's the first thing I would do is if that is the case, Rat King, I would, like I said, get this header straightened out to where, your website's going to be kind of looking the same across regardless of what device it is. This is just a random page that I had pulled up. Oh, it's a blog that I posted earlier this week. As you can tell, if you all been tuning in for a while, we kind of stole the idea of another pest control company in the Frisco, Texas area for some of our newer blog posts. But the footer, if you guys are just kind of totally new to building a website, the footer is what's going to be kind of, at the bottom of your website, hence the name footer, right? This area here where we link to all of our service location pages. Again, you have a little generic contact us form generally, your business's information, and then in our case, we put a map on here, which it looks like Rat King's website, obviously it has a map. What I would do specifically is I would create more of a, user-friendly experience from that side of it. This is just kind of little stuff, but it all adds up at the end of the day. You want, they know where you're located, but they don't know, the service area, right? Say you only service this town, which I'm sure that's not the case, but say you just service this town, then you would of course want to kind of outline that on your map, similar to how we did. It just lets people know as soon, again, all about not wasting our time or the customer's time. Could this increase your bounce rate? To a certain degree, if your website's not completely, optimized. You can't control, of course, where Google will show your businesses, especially your homepage specifically, but as long as you have pages optimized and whatnot, your bounce rate's not really going to increase too much by doing this. But the whole point is it's not wasting your time, the customer's time. What do I mean by that? Pretty obvious and straightforward in my opinion, but just to break it down, say someone were to call me, for example, from Euless, Texas. We don't go that far west currently. Maybe in the future we will. That's the plan. We want to take all over DFW, right? But it's huge. It wouldn't make sense for me to drive upwards of an hour and a half plus out to Euless just for one customer specifically. So, set that up, and then from there, you're hoping, of course, all stars have to align and they actually have to reach your footer still, but it definitely cuts down on customers that don't call, or customers that do call or submit a form that aren't in your service area. If you've been in business longer than a month or two, you've probably had the experience where you get all excited because you just either got a call or a form submission. Then you either answer the phone or go look at that submission and you see a zip code and you're like, I don't even know where that is. Like, that obviously don't service that zip code. Like, it's the worst feeling in the world. You go from up high to, oh man, like I wish. But that's where, again, optimizing the website, doing everything that we talk about here on this channel will help you tremendously, for your pest control business. And not even just pest control businesses, of course. If you have any service business, plumbing, electrician, whatever the case may be, security, in terms of home security system, whatever the case may be, if you own a service-based business, everything that we talk about when it comes to SEO, like local SEO, website SEO, all that type of stuff, will definitely help you grow your business and start getting the phone to ring without shoving hundreds of, thousands of dollars to all these advertising platforms at the end of the day. But yeah, back to what we were discussing, that is where I would start. And then because that'll clean all of this up, like I said, I believe this is in footer format just by how it's looking here. It just looks like your mobile version is also showing up as a desktop version first and foremost. Which is weird if that's the case, because like this section here, it looks pretty good. It looks like a standard About Us section that you created here. Awesome picture as well. And then this picture here, how it's showing up here, this is again showing up kind of as if it's in a mobile, see how it's kind of squeezing it. It's not taking up the full width of the page, for example. See how like our footer, for example, takes up, if I, go full screen, you can see it takes up every square inch of it. And then there are sections where, because our website is both mobile and website friendly, what it'll do is this footer, it will squish. It still looks presentable and looks nice, but this is what I love about WordPress, is it's very easy to use when it comes to this. You can set it up like this, and then say with your content, you can still set it up to where, you have those, where they call margins, I believe, where it looks great still from a laptop view, but whenever it goes to be viewed on a, say, tablet, cell phone, whatever the case may be, a mobile device, it's not gonna mess it up or anything. This picture's too big, actually. I need to go in there and edit that, which I'll do after the stream. Actually, I'll do it right now, because you can probably do something similar to what I'm about to do on a Wix website as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into edit page, and then from here you just click on your photo. Yes, see, that's the issue, is we have it set on large, so we want that set on thumbnail, maybe. Let me see, medium. And this is the thing, is you just kind of want to play with this, play with the positioning to see what looks best. To me, this is what looks best right here, so I'll do update, and then we can go ahead and view the page again. And then, ta-da, look how much better that looks. See, doesn't it look a lot better than having that giant picture right there? If someone's looking at it on the desktop, they're not going to want to see just some giant picture. It takes up the full screen, right? They're going to want something, because just like mobile users, they're going to be scrolling relatively quickly and want to get straight to the point. The pictures, in all honesty, are more for Google and SEO purposes than anything. I don't care what anyone tells you, as long as these are your authentic photos and not stock photos, and they look half decent. Usually taking them, if you're taking them with a phone, taking them horizontally, not vertically, taking them horizontally will make the picture look better, is what I've noticed from my experience when it comes to cropping and everything. But as long as that is an authentic photo, you're going to be looking just fine. And of course, if you guys have any questions throughout the stream, don't hesitate to let me know in the chat, or if you're seeing it after it uploads, then you can, post a comment down below. Let's just go back to his. But yeah, and it could be something as simple as that as well. This is the only issue with this being a Wix website, is I've never used Wix personally. So it could be, like I said, that this is set up as a mobile friendly website specifically, and that's why it's kind of squishing everything on this page. But this section right here, like I said, is making me think that that may not be the case. What may need to happen is you may need to come in here and do what I just showed you a second ago, where you can edit the actual size of the image based on what's kind of going to look the most eye appealing for, your customer. And then let's see, I cannot tell, this is where we're going to go into SEO Quake, because this is showing up, this is how this page is looking on SEO Quake, which is your home page, right? Just ratkingpestcontrol.com. So we can see, of course, 8 internal links, which internal links will build for your homepage as you produce more and more content, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. You need some more external links. I will say that what you can do for that is, of course, go and just literally any free directory, Yellow Pages. There's even tools out there we've talked about before, like Bright Local and SEMrush, where you can do like 75 plus of these instantly for, depending on who you use, what type of price, usually about, it can be, depending on who you use, a couple $100s. A lot of them you can do very easily yourself for free in just a couple hours of your time. I would suggest doing that. And then if you want to, get some more, this is going to help your domain authority first and foremost. But in terms of what we want to look at here, keyword density, I do like that pest control is showing up as your highest density. Be careful with getting up over, like 5 to 10%. You're looking pretty good right now on all these all together. I do find it interesting that SEMrush is a keyword. That's one thing that I was kind of confused about because I didn't see anything that indicated, like I didn't even see the word SEMrush on your website at all. But what could have happened is, say you did use a stock photo or something, say this is a stock photo here, that could be causing SEMrush to potentially show up. It's hard to say. It shows that SEMrush repeats 3 times, so there's 3 things on there, and obviously we're not wanting to show up. This is going to give Google some really conflicting data when you go from pest control, rat, obviously king because your company's name is Rat King Pest Control. All of that makes sense, but then you start getting down here to where it says SEMrush, links, pin, rank, index. It's just kind of weird, which, who knows, this could be something going on with SEO quake, but I feel like it's picking up something on the back end that it's not supposed to be picking up, because when I look at, let's see, was it diagnosis? Here we go, your internal links. When we look at your internal links, Rat King, you can see all the pages, your About Us page, your contact page, reviews, FAQ, etc. You have them from an anchor text standpoint labeled correctly, but the link itself, you haven't named them. So what you need to do is, say your anchor text is about services. You would just say, you would go in here and type in on the, for the URL, obviously ratkingpestcontrol.com / is going to be your homepage, but from there you'd want to say ratkingpestcontrol.com / pest control services, or / frequently asked questions / pest control reviews / contact us for pest control service, so on and so on. You want to make sure that that meta information, which if I recall, when we look at the diagnosis, things like your meta description are not being filled in. You do have the title, but that is because Wix, WordPress, whoever you're using, they're going to automatically, for your homepage, if you do not put anything in, it's going to autofill it for you. And you can see here, it literally cut off at pest control. So it doesn't even say pest control. So definitely go in here and mess with the metadata as well. This is very, very important stuff from the SEO side of things. Let's see, we suggest implementing HTML headings. So you have your H1. It's saying the H1 is, welcome to Rat King Pest Control. Your pest is our request. Let's see, and yes, okay, so that is the header. And then you have your get in touch button. Let's see, what did it say for the H2? For your H2, meet Rat King Pest Control, which I'm sure is the About Us. Yeah, like your About Us section, contact us. I would even put another section in here about pest control services we offer in whatever town that you're in or trying to target specifically. Sorry about that. My daughter came in for a second. Let's see. Yeah, like I was saying, put in something about pest control services we offer in, and then either if your suburb that you live in or are located in is big enough. I don't know enough about the specific town that you're located in, but if there's enough people there, you could hyper local. How do I explain it? Like, you can make your homepage hyper local to where your business is located, which could indirectly also help your Google business profile as well. You could put a section about pest control services we offer in Dallas, Texas, for example, right? Just again, sending Google more data to let them know what you're wanting to rank for. Let's see, iframes. That's what we got. You don't have Google Analytics set up yet, apparently. I would get that set up, which, don't get me wrong, especially with the new Google Analytics, was it Google Analytics 4 or something like that? It can be a pain in the butt to kind of get set up, but there's tons of great informative videos on how to get that set up properly. So get that set up as well. How's it going, Eric? Haven't had an issue until now. Customer is past due, can't get a hold of her, doesn't return calls. Is it worth it? Is it worth the hassle to start the process? I'm assuming you're talking about the collection process. First and foremost, have you sent an email yet? Because you want to, let's see, you said doesn't return calls. Have you texted? Have you emailed? I'm assuming you've done at least one, if not both. But if not, again, just build a case first and foremost. Second off, 145, in my opinion, isn't even enough to worry about turning into collections. If anything, you can write it off as a straight loss. But usually what I will do, which a lot of people are like, are you serious? Yes, I don't play with my money. I go knock on their door. I will drive by and I'll be like, hey, I don't act mad, hey, where's my fucking money, right? But, you want to be professional about it. But I'm just like, hey, I didn't know if you've been getting my calls, texts, emails, anything like that. Just want to make sure that you're all right. I was doing, if you were doing someone's house, you can say I was doing such and such around the corner, or just make up a name, send texts and emails. Yeah, then I would just, if you're in that area at some point, swing by, and like I said, don't come off like a DIK or anything. Just, be like, hey, just want to make sure that you are okay first and foremost, and also your X amount of days or weeks or months, whatever it is, past due on this invoice. So I was hoping, since you're okay, can we go ahead and get this taken care of, and just go from there. But I tell you, it is a hassle. Let me show you something, Eric. Not to get too off topic, but this is what you can look forward to longer you're in business. Let's see. Look at that outstanding right there. And some of this, I will say, at least probably upwards of $500 or so. This is just me being lazy. Haven't gone in and complete out the invoices yet for people that pay us either with Zelle or cash. But we probably got at least 2,000 outstanding, and come the end of the year, if it's enough in terms of bulk, we turn it in to a collection agency. Usually you have to, since it's multiple people, you have to take a little less money, but you still get to also write off the rest of that. So say, that's the good thing about Gorilla Desk too, is they keep track of that, right? But say this ends up being over 5,000 by the end of the year, I'll definitely, team up with a company, a credit collection agency. You're probably only going to get, at the best case scenario, probably around 20%. From what I hear, about 10 to 20%. So say it's 5,000, you're only going to get maybe 500 to $1,000 best case scenario out of that. Which is why I was saying $145. It's not even going to be worth your time and effort to, go that route, because you're going to have to find a good company that's going to pay you first and foremost. But second of all, say even best case scenario, you get 20%, what is it, $25, right? So, you have to factor in, is it worth your time? Where, like I said, to me, it's worth my time at that same price to go and just simply knock on the door, not coming off super aggressive or anything, but just doing what you got to do. And, worst case scenario, if they don't pay, if they just tell you straight up, because you will have some people like that who will tell you straight up they're not going to pay, then just say, well, unfortunately, I'll have to take legal action. I really don't want to do it. Usually once you start telling them that kind of stuff. They'll see that you're not fucking around, you're a legit company that will do whatever it takes to get your money at the end of the day. And usually they'll end up paying. And then sometimes it does slip people's mind. The fact that they're kind of ghosting you, though, definitely sounds like one of those fun ones to deal with, unfortunately. Keep us updated for sure. Hopefully, it gets all straightened out. Man, the allergies are bad today. Thanks for the feedback. Was thinking the same. Yeah, no, most definitely. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, sometimes I'll think something, I'll be like, man, should I do that? And I'll go post in either like a YouTube feed or a group on Facebook, whatever the case may be. And if everybody says, no, I would do this, and you're like, okay, maybe I was wrong. And then if everybody's like, shit, you're being nice, I would blah, blah, then you're like, okay, well then maybe I should definitely do that, right? So, no, it's a process out here. You gotta love the journey, right? But Rat King, that's where there's a lot that you can do, in all honesty, in terms of just the home. We're just addressing the homepage too, right? We're just trying to get this looking, functioning, being more user friendly. Because for example, we go back. I'm trying to get back to like not even on your website yet. Let's say Rat King. Yeah, I was making a post for you all earlier and Canva was messing up. So let's say I just happened to stumble along your website on Google looking for a pest control company near Von Ormy, Texas, right? And I pull up your website and I'm like, okay, Rat King Pest Control. Okay, boom, I might hit services, but let's say I want to scroll down before I even look at anything, and I'm like, okay, welcome to Rat King, and I'm kind of scrolling, and then find, like, how many scrolls do you think in today's world people are going to do before, bounce, right? Not very long. Usually within that first, 1.8 seconds, something like that, is the attention span. I don't know if you guys have noticed, I've been uploading more YouTube shorts lately, and I've been learning about how just, even on YouTube and things, that first 1 to 3 seconds of a video, especially with shorts and things like that, but even website landing pages, home pages, etc., that first initial, what you see in that first 1 to 3 seconds is going to be everything. So let's count right here. We just loaded the page. 1, 2, 3, best case scenario, they get down to your Meet Rat King Pest Control. This would be your best case scenario. So that's why I was saying, play around with this picture specifically. If this is like your header, which is what SEO Quake was saying, I believe, is the header. Let's see. Yeah, it's saying this is the header. So I would try to mess around with your header, get it to where, even if you have to, because our header, this is our header right here. See how small our header is? And the header is just the inverse of the footer, right? It's what's at the top of the page. All this crap isn't showing up for people, obviously. It's everything below this, the customer portal, phone number, reviews, logo, call for an estimate, and then, all of the tabs. And then from there, boom, straight to the content, and it stays the same, of course, across the entire website, right? So that's the main thing, is getting that header shrunk big time. The header is not that important. It's important, but it's not that important in terms of, when someone loads up your page, like, in all honesty, this right here is sufficient for your header, which makes me wonder, actually. So they just have that labeled as your H1. So this may not even actually be your header. This may just be what is considered the H1, since you don't have a title right here, and they're not, obviously Google's not going to pick up on your logo as your title for your page either, which is why, like, in our header, for example, we have our logo, and then it says call for a free estimate, as well as, we just plugged in some text there, and then we didn't even put in a H1, we went straight to H2. For example, this is an H2 heading where it says, the best pest control company in Frisco, Texas. Not nearly as, like, important from that standpoint, but so your header's right here. This can easily be shrunk then what we were looking at just a little bit ago, of course I don't have it pulled up now, but where we shrunk this picture, because it was the same picture just on a different page, that's all you really should have to do. You should just shrink this picture. If you want it as a background picture, which in all honesty, I don't even think you do, you can do a lot more. This is where I'm going to be getting kind of, honest with you, Rat King. You can do a lot more with this webpage. Honestly, if you sat down and learned the ins and outs about creating your home page, or just creating a page in general, learning about utilizing columns, utilizing the blocks and this and that and the other, assuming Wix functions somewhat similar to WordPress, you can make this look and function a lot better. I would get rid of this image altogether, in my opinion. This is going to automatically shoot your first heading, your technical H1, up right to the top right here, similar to how our H2 is set up right here at the top. We don't have a picture or anything. What we did is we didn't even use columns or anything for this page. We just simply, which we may change, if so, I'll let you guys know, for the website side of things, keeping you guys updated. But we just simply plugged in our text, and then we plugged in a photo. I'll give you an idea of how that kind of works, at least on WordPress. Like I said, it may be a little bit different on Wix. But from here, we would just go full screen for a second. From here, say we wanted to add a photo, for some reason, right in here, we'll say. You just hit this add button, you'd hit image, use your image library. Let's say you wanted to add this picture for some reason, you'd add it, and then as you can see, I don't know why someone's calling my personal phone right now. As you can see, you can wide width it, wouldn't suggest that, right? You can do none, you can do, align it to the right, and it'll, make it look good with your text and everything, just like we did with this one originally. Or say you just don't want it all together, you can just get rid of it. That's what I would do. I would get rid of that picture altogether. I would come up, because I'm assuming this is a stock photo. You can tell me straight up in the comments if I'm wrong, Rat King, because I know you said that your wife takes some really good pictures as well. So who knows, she very well could have got this picture. But if she's anything like my wife, I doubt she was the one that got that close to, was it a B? Yeah, I doubt she'd be the one that got that close to it, right? But let me know, if that is your picture. Either way, I personally, if nothing else, would shrink it. That way, again, we get our text up. We want our text up here towards the top of the page. And then, we get rid of all that empty space. And then from there, if you want to, what that would do is, of course, push this section up the page. And then, which, in all honesty, what I would do is I would keep this lower on the page, just because, let's see, I'm Roger, Rat King Pest Control, after 5 years. Yeah, so this is kind of like an About Us. The About Us stuff, Google doesn't really care about, in all honesty. So in terms of pleasing algorithm and stuff, I would keep this towards, where you have it. What I would do then, since we just opened up a bunch of space on our page, and you have not very many words, if I recall, on this page. Let me see. Total number of words, 219. So yeah, like I always say, guys, you want to have at least 500 words on your page. What we can do is we can plug in some content in between our heading, and get in touch and all that. We can put in some actual context, letting people know why they should go with us, what type of prices, what services we offer. Throw in another section about services that we have to offer, right? What that would look like, how we have it set up. This is, of course, on the editing side. But see, we have like services we have to offer in Frisco, Texas, which you can also hyperlink to those service pages that you're going to set up as well. And then, of course, if you have a YouTube library, link up some YouTube videos, whatever the case may be. As you can see, I don't even have an About Us or anything like on our website anymore. If we actually go to, let's see, preferredpestmanagement.org. As you can see, we keep it straight to the point. Your obvious choice for pest control needs. We label, our most common services, our contact us. we do have our little about us on our homepage. Again, pretty straightforward, straight to the point. And then, some reviews, which I saw you have a review page, if I can find that. Instead of having like a review page, you should be able to, on a Wix website, I believe, actually have a specific, like a block, I believe is what they call them, where you will actually be able to put in here, reviews. It can scroll, whatever the case may be. And then, like we said, if you want to put more content on there for people to see, you can. And then, of course, the main thing is making sure to label the services as early as possible, the service area as early as possible. You want to send as many signals to Google as quick as possible what your website is about. That way they can know what to rank you on. And then, like I was talking about in terms of a lot of our other pages, let's just, I haven't looked at my Garland page in a while. I mean, look at this one. We just go pest control Garland, keeping pests, termites, rodent, and wildlife out of Garland home since 2020. Then we have our contact us forum, which that should be a white background. Need to change that. And then again, same, letting them know what we service, prices for, potential customers, the services, with, a lot of description, again, mostly for Google more than anything, but for the customer as well, right? You want it to be, doesn't look like it's just written by a bot or anything. And then, of course, why choose us, the most dependable pest control company, all that type of stuff. This is what you're going to really want to, I'm not saying like mimic mine, I'm just trying to give you like an idea of what works, right? Because I just know what's working for us. So I'm kind of comparing, what you got going on now versus, like I said, if you just sit down and actually, I know it takes a lot of time. You may even want to come back and like watch this stream once the season kind of winds down and you have some time to focus on the website a lot more if you're super busy. Because it will take time. Just, it's annoying, trust me. There's still stuff even about WordPress that when I'm building our website, shout out to whoever's throwing them 100s and hearts my way. But it is annoying, even on WordPress. There's things where I'm like, shit, I can't figure out how to do this or how to do that. And then I think I got it and then it fucks my website up or something. So it's a process for sure, but that is where I would kind of start in terms of the homepage at least. And then, like we were talking about, I believe in another stream, you have your services page that goes over the type of services that you have. But what we need to do, of course, is one, what is missing from here? Those of you, I don't even know how many we have of you live right now. We got like 6 of you tuning in right now. And hopefully you all are enjoying the stream too, by the way. If you are, let me know. Smash that thumbs up button. You all know the drill. But what are we missing up here? Let's compare, what we got going on over here to what we got going on right here. So we have home. We got the about us, contact us, reviews, which I would scratch this, scratch that. You can keep this if you want. This could kind of be like a blog type of page, essentially. We even have our services, but what are we missing? What is the thing that I always stress to you guys is the easiest way to rank and get free leads for your business, for your pest control business website? No guesses so far? Come on. What are we missing, guys? I just clicked on it on accident. Video library doesn't really matter. Our blog, it's okay, but whatever. Contact us. Have the about us. Our services, right? And we already went over how you want to create separate pages for those services. What's he missing? He's missing where we serve and pages for those service locations. These pages, guys, these are an absolute must. Not just for pest control businesses. If you provide any type of service, plumbing service, electrician, I'm blanking on all the types of services, handyman, whatever the case may be. If you go to different towns to complete services, say you live in a big area like Dallas, Texas area, Houston, Texas, LA, Tampa, New York, Miami, all these big metroplexes, right? You live in any area where you're going to be going to more than one town, and even if you only service one or two towns, by the way, you need to create these service location pages, because one of the most common searches in Google right now, and has been on the upward trend for years now, is blank service near me. So pest control near me, termite control near me, painter near me, right? So what is Google looking for? Google's looking for, okay, what web page is addressing this need? They're looking for, in this case, a pest control company near them. Okay, well, where are they located? Because Google knows where you are at all times, right? Regardless of what all these freaking phones and shit tell you about how you can block everything, they know exactly where you are at all times. Like, don't be a dummy, right? So they see, for example, a customer types in pest control near me, and they're located in Frisco, Texas, right? Or they say, straight up, pest control Frisco, Texas, right? If I didn't have a page titled Pest Control Frisco, Texas, I would have missed out on, let's see, let's just go to pages. What did I just do? Yeah, there we go. Pages, Frisco, Texas. I would have missed out on, just in impressions alone, almost 2,600 impressions over the last 6 months, right? So just think, Rat King, how many potential customers are not seeing that you even exist because you don't have your service location page set up. In all honesty, you can forget about everything that I said on the homepage. Like, in terms of importance, the most important thing I would do right now is set up the service location pages, followed by setting up services under those service location pages, going back to, of course, silo structure, internal link building for your website. And then something you can do really quick within your header, put your phone number. Either put your phone number or do what we did where, like, we have just a link. Technically, we have two. We have the phone number. Both are clickable, of course, but at least put some kind of clickable link that, they can call your number right away. Because most of the time, you'll find that a lot of your leads from your website are going to be people calling directly from the website. In all honesty, I would say about 60% of our leads, maybe even more, about 2/3 of our leads that come from our website come from people clicking these call buttons. Because, of course, you set up call tracking and it lets you know, call from website, whatever the case may be. That is where most of our leads, at least majority, not like, huge number like 70, 80, 90%, but at least 60+% come from them calling right from the top of the page. So not having that is also, I would put that equally as important as creating, did not mean to exit my page. That's equally as important to creating like a service area where we serve, where we provide X, whatever you want to label this page, because of course this is going to be a page of its own as well, right? So you're going to have that page, but then within that, again, silo structure, you're going to have all of your different towns, which I'm not even done. I'm missing areas like Allen, Texas. That's a big one off the top of my head that I'm missing. But Carrollton, Texas is another one. Like, I'm still doing this myself. So, again, don't think that I'm even done myself, right? I always stress to you guys, website, content, content creation, SEO, etc. It's a constant battle that you're constantly having to focus on and work on. And the moment you stop working on it, you'll notice relatively quickly your rankings are going to start dropping off. So, like I said, those are probably the most important things. Again, just to reiterate, number one, I would say first and foremost, because it's the easiest, quickest to do, you can do it within probably, even if you have no idea how to do it, probably within 30 minutes to an hour, worst case scenario. Again, assuming you have like little to no knowledge on website building and whatnot. Get the phone number put on here, phone number link, whatever the case may be, preferably a tracking number. That way you can start tracking where your phone calls are coming from, right? Using something like CallRail, Open Phone, whatever the case may be. And then from there, like we said, get rid of, in all honesty, at least get rid of this reviews tab, replace it with your service locations tab, like areas we provide pest control service or whatever you want to call it. Flip that out with that, like flip your reviews out for that, and then from there, a drop down of all of the service locations you provide, and then from there, provide your services for each location. For all I care, start out with just copy and pasting your descriptions for every service and just change out the city name, the town name, whatever you want to call them. You copy and paste it at first. It's not duplicate content. People always worry about, well, that's going to fall under Google's duplicate content. It's not duplicate content. One, because you are making edits to it. It's specifically for different locations, but also it's coming from your own website. It's not the same as, say, for example, on YouTube, because YouTube, for example, they have a rule on duplicate content where, say, I were to post this stream, right? And then I literally saved the video of the stream to my laptop, re-uploaded it like once a day, just on repeat over and over. That is considered not just duplicate content, of course, but spam, and that is where you can start getting in trouble. Google, when it comes to your website, it's not the same because, again, one, it's not even duplicate content because you are changing stuff within those service location pages or your location services pages, I should say, because you're not just going to literally repost everything. You're going to have, for example, go back over here, you're going to have Ant Control, Fate, Texas, Ant Control, Frisco, Texas, Ant Control, Garland, Texas, so on and so on. Just had a random missed call. You're going to have these under every single one. Now, ideally, definitely come up with some fresh content for every single one. But in the beginning, the most important thing is just at least get those pages built. And then from there, whenever you have time, you can always go in there and, using a tool like ChatGPT or something, go in there and have it help you. Again, even with ChatGPT, don't just copy and paste the shit. Go in there and put your own little jazz on it, right? Personalize it, make it not sound like it came from a freaking robot, for Christ's sakes, but just get it all up there, and then over time you can worry about personalizing it, optimizing it, because of course when you first do this, guys, these pages are not going to be optimized whatsoever. Like I said, it's a constant battle. I don't even want to use the word battle. It's a constant tweaking process where you're going to do some stuff, and then you want to give it, usually at the bare minimum, 4 to 8 weeks. Check in with your Google Search Console, of course. See how everything's going. Be adding content relentlessly, because you don't just stop there. When we talk about silo structure, if you all are wondering, what the hell is he talking about silo structure? When we talk about silo structure, what happens is, to give you guys, just a visual, because I know me personally, I'm a visual guy. I hate how you always have to go to the website the picture came from now. I just want to show you guys the picture. So for example, don't think homepage here. Think, because we're focusing on our service location pages. How's it going there, German O? We're focusing on, for example, the service location page. So just instead of home, think pest control, Fate, Texas, for example. So this would be pest control, Fate, Texas. From here, you would have ant control, Fate, Texas, spider control, Fate, Texas, termite control, Fate, Texas, whatever the case may be, right? And then from there, you're going to start creating pieces of content. It doesn't even have to be just blogs. It can be blogs. It can be short YouTube videos. It can be even, audio podcasts, whatever the case may be. You want to just create content that gives you topical authority in that subject, and you're going to link that up to say it's about ant control. Say this is, ant control, Fate, Texas, right? Just for an easy example. And you create a post about, carpenter ants in Fate, Texas, or whatever the case may be. Just a random, again, just example here. You want to put internal links, say you're talking about blah, 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 and this is how we get rid of carpenter ants in Fate Control, Texas. If you need ant control service in Fate, Texas. You're going to hyperlink that, and you're going to link it to your ant control Fate, Texas page, right? And then the ant control Fate, Texas page obviously links back up to your pest control Fate, Texas page. So, like I said, I mean, it's a constant process. It never ends at the end of the day. I mean, to me, it's fun because I guess now that I've actually started figuring it out over the last, 4 months roughly now, 4 to 6 months specifically, I've literally watched our website rankings slowly but surely. I can see why these SEO companies tell you to, don't try to rush it, because it's not. I always thought for the longest, man, these SEO companies are just trying to, milk your dollar, right? They want to get as much money from you as they can. So they're like, give it, 6 to 12 months because they're locking in 6 to 12 months of income. But what I've noticed is a lot of stuff. It's kind of like the old saying in the stock market, elevator down, staircase up. What does that mean? It's very easy for your results in terms of website SEO. It's very easy for your results to just boom. For example, when we started first kind of tweaking with shit back in May, Google didn't like it because we were literally overhauling our website. So we went from an average ranking website wide in the US, which I wish we could make this even more local because I wish we could do it by state. I don't believe you can. Let's see. If so, I'm going to feel like an idiot. Yeah, no, it's just country. So I wish we could do this by state even because I'm interested to see, because say you take off just US, average position goes up 4 in terms of to the negative side, where just as soon as we filter it down to US, because of course we're a service business, that's the only traffic we care about, our rankings go up exponentially, like 10%. But my point is, as you can see, when we started messing with stuff, Google didn't like it, right? It went literally just in one day, May 31st, average position 32, one day change down to 52. Down 2 whole pages overnight. Just boom. They just sent us down. And then where did we bottom? We bottomed out at an average page rank of 64. And this was just 2 months ago. And we're slowly recovering. And again, this is site-wide. So I have to stress, too, that when it comes to site-wide, this is why I like looking at specific search terms, which you look at down here, specific queries and pages specifically, because that is going to actually give you the better idea. And then I also have been looking at like the 28-day and 3-month date range, because again, that gives me more of a actual representation of what's kind of going on. You can see site-wide, still up around 40, 41, 42 at the moment. Our impressions are looking pretty good site-wide. The main thing from there is, again, like I said, I like to take a look at queries. You can see we're starting to show up more for search terms that are more localized, like pest control Saxe, Texas, flea exterminator Dallas, pest control Frisco, pest control Plano, pest control Plano. Like, we're starting to show up more, where if we take a look at this, let's just say 6 months ago. Again, scroll back down, we can see that our most common terms were just kind of roughly what our company name is, just generic pest control. We had an article that was doing really good about our landlords responsible for pest control. Pest control Garland was starting to show up a little bit within the last 6 months, as well as Saxe. And I will say pest control near me, we were showing up a lot more for. I noticed when we took that search term out, was whenever, we don't really get that many impressions from it. But look at this little deal right here. As soon as we took it out, it's weird how that worked. We took it out and we started showing up for it a lot more in terms of impressions, but the position sucked, right? And then eventually, boom, just kind of dropped out of the search for that. So I'm going to play around with that search term specifically a little bit more here in the near future. But back to kind of, because I could go in on my website for hours on a live stream at some point, because I'm just doing a lot to it. I'm still, like I said, never ending. when it comes to that. But yeah, what else do we need? Of course, we talked about quick things that you can do to make this homepage a lot better in terms of, getting you leads, getting the phone number and stuff put in there. Personally, I didn't even mention this, instead of having the get in touch button, I would put a form right here. Like we said, we want to crop this picture down or take it out altogether, kind of retool it in terms of the look of everything. And then what I would do is say you have a form right below this, or maybe you put some content in here first and then a form, whatever the case may be. I would have a form pretty early on. I don't know if you noticed on my website, on most pages. What page is this right now? This is just our Where We Serve page. If you go to our homepage, for example, we have our header, we have some content, we have a picture, and then boom, we have our, form that we want people to fill out to get their instant quote. And then I believe, even at the bottom, of course, in the footer, we have that as well. And then let's see, let's just use, random examples. I haven't even messed with these pages at all lately, but our ant control page, we have our content, and then boom, on the sidebar, we don't even have it's not even a sidebar. I could set it up as a sidebar if I wanted to, but I just have it right here. What I did is I created what's called columns. It's not a tool, what's the word? A block in WordPress, which I'm sure Wix and all these other website builders, I know Squarespace is similar too. You can set up what's called columns, and you can set up columns that are split 50-50, 66-33. I believe this one here is a 66-33. It shrunk down the form, and then it allowed the content to take up more of the page. Something like this, is again something that would, get you some more leads. Your contact page, very similar, straightforward to the point. For some reason, we do get quite a bit of form submissions through this contact page, probably because, again, it's straight to the point. Not a lot of information on it. Just, are you dealing with any of these kind of issues? Need to get in touch? Go ahead and submit this form, and we'll give you a call. Again, straightforward to the point. Things that customers are going to like at the end of the day. I could go over example after example. Pest Control Murphy, what type of service we offer. Oops. Oh, I just found an error. See what happens when you do shit too fast? I got pest control. I got Fate Texas in here. I'm glad I seen that. I'm not leaving this page because actually, you know what? I'll just do that right now. See? People fuck up. This is the human factor, right? I was going in there and copy and pasting shit, and I forgot to, I'm surprised because that page hasn't been performing, it has been performing pretty good lately. Out of Murphy Home since 2020. Making sure that I didn't mess it up anywhere else. Let's see. Go full screen for a second. Why choose? Yeah, I'm glad that we did this stream tonight, because man, I would have hated it if I left it like this for any longer than it already was. Update, view, there we go. That looks better. Man, I can't believe that. I'm gonna have to go through all my service location pages now after this stream. But yeah, and that just goes to show I was doing this, I got to the point, because you'll see that how redundant it is. It'll become just where you're almost feeling like a robot. You're just copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, submit, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, submit, over and over. And then obviously within the copy and paste, you got to edit the actual location you're providing those services in. And like I said, is it ideal to create different content for each page? That way, heaven forbid it did get flagged as duplicate content. You avoid that altogether, yes. But like I said, from my experience and from a bunch of other people's experience that know a lot more about SEO than me, you're not creating duplicate content when you do that. Now, another thing you can do too, if you're worried about it, is just simply reconstructing how some things look. say, instead you put, let's just find a random example. Let's say you flip your customer testimonials with your, Get Pest Control Murphy, Texas, this section right here. You could flip them. The ones who tell you that you have to literally go page by page and create word for word different content, those are usually SEO people that are trying to sell you an SEO service. They want to make it sound like it's the toughest thing, the hardest thing in the world. One, because then you won't want to do it and you'll just pay them to do it. And also, it makes you think that their service is worth more money than it probably is, because, it's like, hey man, this stuff, it's time consuming, it's hard. Did we just disconnect? Says we're connected. Hopefully we're all good. Reconnection successful. Okay. Hopefully we're connected and doing all right. Y'all can let me know in the chat. Hopefully, I see we got like 5 of y'all tuning in. If someone could let me know if we're doing all right or not, I would greatly appreciate that. It says we're live. OBS is saying that we are live. So hopefully everything's doing all right. That kind of threw me off there for a second, and I see our views already started to drop. So yeah, hopefully we are still live. But yeah, what I was pretty much saying at the end of the day is, be very wary of people who try to make it seem like SEO and all that is just super, super difficult, because don't get me wrong, there's a huge learning curve to it all, but as long as you're willing to put in the time, effort, work, it's more work than anything. As long as you're willing to put in the work and the time, and like we said, the effort to learn it, you'll be doing just fine, and I guarantee you, the next time you run this, you'll be a lot more impressed with how everything's looking. The one good thing that you already do have going is, Keyword Cloud is showing pest control as your, 2 main keywords. Obviously, those are keywords you want Google to know you want to rank for. So it's not, like I said, my main thing is I don't want to sound like I'm like beating up your website or anything. You should have seen the first 1 to 2 websites that I created. I mean, they were just awful. And the second one I didn't even create. I used a company, which I'm not even going to put on blast right now, but they created me just a 1-page website, essentially. Like, you would click contact us, it would zoom down the page to fill out a contact us form or call. And it was bad, let me just tell you. But that was our second website, and I paid like something ridiculous, like $1,100 for that website. It's just insanity, like what people get away with when it comes to charging for piss poor website products at the end of the day. Not even just website products, but again, SEO services and all that stuff. So, are there good ones out there? Yes. But like I said, if anyone, whenever you're watching the content, listening to it, whatever the case may be, they're telling you that, you need to pay attention, or not pay attention, you'd be better off to pay them because, why would you want to do this? This is so difficult, blah, 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 blah. You don't want to make duplicate content and all that type of stuff. They're trying to sell you. So just be wary of it. I mean, hell, I even offer those type of services for you guys, but, I'm the one that's always willing to say that you do not need me, if I can even find it. You do not need me to do any of this stuff for you. You can literally do it all yourself. Just follow along with what I tell you to do, along with what other good YouTubers online, because there are, like I said, plenty of them out here that will give the information away for free. It's just up to you to be willing to go apply it and, let the results speak for themselves at the end of the day. And say you don't get the results, then, what are you out of? The time that it took you? Better than paying somebody to do the same thing and then getting those same results, right? Say you do all that work and it doesn't do shit for you for some reason, then you can decide to go pay somebody, right? But, I think we definitely identified at least a few, 3 to 6 things that you can start working on. Like we said, it says total words here 172. We got to get more content on there. Cannot stress it enough. Let's just put in perspective. Let's see. This is the run on our homepage. Let's see, which, like I said, our homepage isn't even that great either. Let's see. How did I do this? Was it density? So yeah, total words 1,658. So that means that I have what? About 10x, 8 to 10x the amount of words. Of course, our home page is full of, pest control. And what do you see? There's a ton of words in here. Removal, wildlife, termite, Plano, services, mosquito, rowlet. Preferred, obviously, preferred pest management, Saxy, Roy City, Rockwall, flea, commercial, cockroach. See all these different keywords that are in here. This is, the home page, right? And see what I was saying about you want to make sure that your density doesn't get, too high. You don't want it really above 5%. Most of these here, pest control 3.92, 3.5, 1. You don't want the ones that you really, really want to rank for. You don't want them really below like 2%. But the main ones that we're wanting our homepage to rank for are just pest control, of course. And the prominence is very heavy, 51%. Your prominence is pretty good. Yeah, these are pretty good for these two. Like I say, you have some good stuff here. You have at least a good foundation to start with. It's just taking it to the next level, right? So, yeah, if y'all have any questions, I'll go ahead and, get to answering them real quick. Like I said, hopefully everything got all reconnected with the stream. Hopefully we're still live and doing all right for you guys. It looks like we are, so I'm just gonna assume we are. Haven't had any information put in there. If you guys have any questions or anything, just let me know. I'll stay on here for just a couple more minutes really quick for tonight's stream. And if you're enjoying the stream so far, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button. Lets me know again that you guys like the content, you appreciate the content, all that type of stuff. And also, I'm trying to make sure real quickly that I'm not missing anything for Rat King, because I'm trying to do as thorough of a breakdown of the website as possible. Like we said too, I forgot to, in terms of the importance, mention the whole, we've talked about the metadata on here. You got to get this filled out. You can do everything that I mentioned to you, Rat King, but if you don't, again, this is just pre-filled in BS from Wix. If you don't go in here and edit this stuff yourself, you're going to have not very hard time. You're just not going to rank at all. This is like some of the most important data that Google looks at before anything else on your website. So get some type of plugin for your website. Usually there's a bunch of free ones that'll help you make it super easy to plug in those meta descriptions and meta titles. And then, I think other than that, I don't think there was really any other like major issues or anything. Let's see, external. Yeah, so definitely also doing those directory listings like we were talking about. That'll help you get some free, easy backlinks, even simple ones like the new Apple Business or Apple Business Connect, whatever they call it. Doing that, of course, setting up your Google Business profile, setting up a Facebook page, doing a Yelp, all these different, yellow pages, all that type of stuff. It'll help you get some free and easy backlinks as well. And reach out to some local companies too. Maybe even join, if it's affordable enough, join a couple of your local chamber of commerces. That'll help you not just get a couple backlinks, but help you get a couple of high domain authority backlinks as well, which will help the website big time as well. But like I said, if we don't have any questions or anything, we'll go ahead and probably wrap today's stream up. I think we pretty much went over quite a bit to help Rat King Pest Control out. If you're in their area, in the San Antonio, Texas area, and needing any type of pest control service, give them a shout. They seem to be pretty good people out that way. Just south of San Antonio, looks like. So, yeah, if you're needing pest control out that way, definitely give them a shout. Let them know that Griffin on YouTube sent y'all over there. And like I said, we're just now starting this series as well. So, if you have, how we're doing this series essentially is, if any of you guys reach out to me and ask me to, do a video similar to this, breaking down your website, what's good, what's, not so good, what needs to be worked on, essentially, all of that good stuff, you can either let me know, drop your website in the comments below the video after this live uploads into a video format. You can also reach out to me on our Discord group chat, which is totally free to join. We don't charge or anything like that. We also have a Facebook group as well. Trying to see if I can get it pulled up really quick for you guys. Come on. Yeah, we just opened up this community earlier this year. We're pushing up on 75 members in there, but you can message me on there. You can message me on Discord, or like I said, just drop a chat response comment down below the video, and once I get another website from you all to take a look at, I will do another live stream or video for you all on it. But hopefully you guys, like I said, are having a great week. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. If you like the stream, like the video, smash the like button and subscribe. I think I said like button twice. Like and subscribe, hit the bell icon, all that good stuff, so you don't miss any future videos or live streams. And I will see you all in the next video.